President Donald Trump has bought himself some time to assess the options, see what Iran will do, and work on some of those diplomatic options. Yesterday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with his UK counterpart David Lammy, and word is that Lammy was briefed on a take-it-or-leave-it proposal. They've both posted on social media. Rubio saying the United States and the UK agree Iran should never get a nuclear weapon. Lammy adding on his own post, a window now exists within the next 2 weeks to achieve a diplomatic solution. Now, Lammy is off to Geneva right now to join his French, German, and EU counterparts as they meet with Iranian officials. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff has had direct contact with Iran's foreign minister, but he won't be attending that meeting. Meanwhile, we see that U.S. military assets are starting to be moved to the region, and here's some analysis on what may be happening.
Point one I take away is, maybe this is a very clever ruse in order to lull the Iranians into some sense of security about U.S. participation. Point two would be, and I kind of hope it's this, legitimately give the Iranians a little more breathing space to think through consequences and perhaps come back to the administration and say, let's restart talks. And then third case, that's 2 weeks to really set the table carefully, move all the forces precisely where I want them.
There is domestic backlash and anti-war protests here in the U.S., and that's adding pressure on President Trump to justify or limit any military action. Here's Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley.
Trump wants to be a negotiator and bring peace.
Right.
Is he instead going to be another Republican president who yields to pressure and slides into a war in the Middle East? That is a fundamental question. He has established a framework for negotiations with Iran. That framework can be of enormous value to the world right now, and he will lose that if we become a force joining with Israel to destroy Iran.
There is some disagreement still about how close Iran actually is to having a nuclear weapon. Official U.S. intelligence has a different view of it than Trump or even Israel do. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill will get their first classified briefing next week.